Hello everyone. I am going to feed my sourdough starter today, and I thought I would show you how to feed your sourdough starter. Because it is super easy, and when I first got mine, I was so overwhelmed. I was Googling everything, I was looking at online forums, all over Instagram, YouTube, whatever. And because now I've sort of tried everything, I've learned that you can pretty much do anything and do whatever you want and figure out what works. So the absolute basics are that you just have to keep your starter alive by feeding it once a day, twice a day. I think I've figured out the lowest maintenance way of using my starter and just being practical about it depending on how much bread you want to make. For example, we've been away and there's a tiny little amount of starter in here, and it's just been living in the fridge for a couple of weeks, which will keep, like when you're not feeding it, it should be in the fridge and it will just sort of go dormant, I think. But because I'm thinking of making bread this week, I need to get it out, I need to get it to room temperature, and I need to start feeding it. I've made the mistake of getting it out of the fridge, feeding it, and thinking I can make bread with it that day. I don't know if that works for anyone else. That has not worked for me. It just did not rise very well. The starter looked okay, but I could tell that it was not as good as it's supposed to be. So I'm just gonna feed it today. Just the first feed. I'll probably do it today. It's like midday or 1 o'clock maybe. And then I'll do it again tonight. And then I might give it a couple of days. I don't want to rush it too much. I might feed it again tomorrow, and then maybe I'll make bread on Wednesday. So it's Monday. And then this is not any particular recipe or anything. This is just me going, I moved too fast last time I took it out of the fridge. So I need to take it slow. Alternately, you can just keep it somewhere warm, pantry or wherever in your kitchen, and feed it once a day and just keep it going, keep it thriving. And then one day go, cool, I'm making bread today. And on the day you are making your bread, you'd probably feed it first thing in the morning because you want to use the starter when it's at its peak, which is like, depending on how warm it is, where you're keeping it, 2, 3, 4 hours. And these are just things that you learn along the way, which is what I heard everywhere. And now I'm telling you, because now I just know. I know when it's ready. I don't have a particular schedule. It's literally just, do I want bread this week? And then I figure it out around that. So we're gonna feed the starter today. Because it has not been used for a while, and it actually smells just super strong, but still smells fine. It can go like a little bit of a dark color, and I'm pretty sure this can be saved because it's been stored in the fridge. What you would normally do is discard some of it, and you can use the discard in like recipes. We always make sourdough discard pancakes, which is delicious. But not loving the look of it today, so I'm probably just gonna discard most of it and literally throw it away and not use it for anything. So before we do anything, we're going to discard most of the starter. They say to like leave 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna leave like 1 tablespoon. From my experience, I believe that I can bring this back to life. I think I feel pretty good that I could bounce this back. All right, put a little bit back in. It's just like there's like nothing left in there. But I'm gonna bring it back to life. Okay, so this is super easy, and it is even easier than that if you have kitchen scales. So we have the starter, room temperature filtered water. I'm just lucky that I have like a plumbed fridge with a water dispenser, which is filtered water. I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but I guarantee you if I didn't have this fridge, I'd be using tap water out of the tap. So I don't know if it's worth stressing about if you don't have filtered water on hand. That is pretty well room temperature. It does come out cold though, so I just chuck it in the microwave for like 30 seconds just to bring it up a little bit. And then I have the best baker's flour that I could find at the supermarket. Hasn't failed me yet. Not to say that all my sourdoughs have been perfect. It usually is nothing to do with the flour and more to do with the recipe and timing and temperature, blah, 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 blah. So, not much in here. We're gonna start off small because I'm gonna feed it twice today. And again, the amount you feed it, I just sort of go with the vibes on the day. Like, to try and get it back to life, I might do a smaller amount, like 30 grams or 40 grams, and you do equal parts flour and water. So I might do smaller amounts today and maybe tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon if I feed it again. But sometimes if I go, I'm making 3 loaves, I might just do 100 grams flour, 100 grams of water, just to like really, really bulk up the starter, just to make sure there's enough. There is no rhyme or reason. I'm sure you could read up from an expert's point of view on how to do this, but I've just tried. It's always 1-to-1 flour and water, but I've done all the numbers and pretty much everything has worked. My brother-in-law said, keep notes of everything you do, and every time you adjust something in a loaf, make note of what it was. Don't do more than one variable when you bake a loaf. So if something goes right or wrong, you know exactly why. I have kept some notes, but I've mostly just written down what worked perfectly, and I just do that over and over. But the starter is a bit more like, whatever, see what works. Like, I'm not even sure how you kill it. Maybe if you leave it out of the fridge for weeks on end without feeding it, that must be how. So anyway, we're feeding it right now so I can bake this week. So we got our scales. It's so easy. Make sure it's on grams because I've done ounces before and it's been a problem. Jar on, couldn't be easier. Tare, couldn't be easier. What did I say? I was gonna do 40 just to bring it back to life. $43, close enough. That's the whole vibes are just close enough, even though it probably is more particular to more people. Yeah, 43, and then I'll just make it 40 grams of water. It goes up so quick, so you gotta pour so slowly. There we go. And then I will roll up my sleeves because something that not a single person has told me is that sourdough is really messy. It's like sticky, like the starter. It's sticky. If you get it on something and you don't wash it off straight away, it will dry like cement. And I've learned the hard way. There we go. It is said to not leave any dry flour in the jar. Okay, no worries. None in there. I'm using just the normal dessert spoon, which Normally I would actually use like a chopstick for some reason, or like the handle of the spoon. I'm not sure if there's a reason, maybe just because less will stick to it, because look how much sticks to it. So beautiful. That's my first feed to bring it back to life. It's still cold from the fridge, so it's got a ways to go. It looks kind of like a thick batter. See, I've got to go wash my hands now because, can you see? It's like a thick batter. Smells, it kind of smells like Play-Doh. When you have a brand new starter, I bought mine from a company online. It was like dried flakes, and you add water and just like keep feeding it. At the start, it's just a very interesting time, all sorts of smells and things, and is this right? Is this wrong? Is this working? Did I kill it? Very stressful. All sorts of that happens when you first start. All right, hands are washed. So I did do up the jar before, but you're supposed to leave like a loose lid because like it gets gassy in there, I guess. And you want, if it bubbles up over the top, you do not want the lid tight on a glass jar. So I always just like tighten it all the way and then loosen it a smidge. I'm gonna keep this in maybe just the pantry for now. Sometimes I keep it in a turned off oven, which I highly recommend because it really works. You really get a good bubbly starter, but 2 times we have accidentally nearly baked it. Luke or I have turned on the oven and we've gone, oh my gosh, are you making bread? And just the outsides have started cooking, and we grab the jar out of the oven. And what is crazy is this is the same starter. We've saved it every single time. Like the middle was cold and untouched, so we've scooped out the middle and started again. So I think having brought it back from nearly baking it 2 times has given me confidence to do literally whatever I want with this. So I'm gonna put this in my pantry now, and I will feed it again later tonight and tomorrow, and then I'll make sourdough this week. So this was a very quick little video, but I'm considering sharing the whole journey of baking a sourdough from start to finish, which is a 24-hour process. It's the most bizarre thing. It's the simplest thing to do. It just requires impeccable timing and 24 hours of your life. But I tell you, it's so good when you pull a fresh loaf of sourdough out of the oven. Oh my goodness. I got all my instructions off of various people, but I have made the best loaves following Keep It Sweet Kitchen on YouTube, who is like an expert of sourdough. And I've sort of done a mixture of the ways that she does it. So please let me know if there's anything you want to see me clean or organize, and I would be happy to do it. I've still got a couple of rooms that need a very decent reset that I can do at some point. Or yeah, anything else that you would like to see. But thank you so much for watching me feed my starter. Yes, and we will see how we go. So thanks for watching.